All right, guys, what's up? Microphone check, making sure you guys can hear me properly. All right, let's get into it, everybody. Welcome. I'm gonna give it maybe 1 or 2 minutes, and then we're gonna dive deep into a Bitcoin analysis. And guys, I've been right about a lot of things, man. I've been calling $100,000 before the end of the year, even before the elections, when Bitcoin was like when it was like $50,000, $60,000, and here we are. So let's see if I'm gonna get another prediction right. But based off of how everything is going so far, it seems to be going exactly to plan. So I'm gonna start off by addressing a lot of questions that a Discord member named Rachel asked me, which is going to be in your best interest as well. And it's going to be related to things such as the $100,000 hit. So Rachel, I apologize if I was short with you in the Discord. I wanted to address it as a whole because these are very good questions. We're also going to talk about holding on to some short-term positions that you're in and if it's going to be worthwhile or not. And we're also going to talk about the market dominance to see how it's going to act, okay? So let's start off by talking about some of the not longer, but like shorter term holds that I have right now. They are fluctuating between, like, this is a $550,000 long position that I'm in. Right now it's up like, I think $70,000 or $80,000. It peaked at about 100. So I want to talk to you guys about an example that really needs to be understood, okay? Please, like this is so critical to understand this, okay? We're just gonna say that these three price points, okay? Like this is $5, okay? This is 5, this is $10, this is 15, this is 20, okay? So if you entered here with $10,000, okay? If it goes from $5 to $10, you have doubled your money. You've now made $20,000, right? But if it goes to 15,000, you've now tripled your money from 10,000 to $30,000, right? So you basically do it, but you add 10,000 more, and so on. And if you get to 20, it's gonna turn to like so here it's gonna turn to 20K, right? 20K, and here it's gonna turn to 30K. You guys get the point. Here it turns to 40K, right? That makes sense. But let's just say right now Bitcoin's at 100K and you guys cash out. Okay, you're like, yeah, I cashed out. I made $20,000. This is such a critical concept to understand, and I'm gonna talk about why I'm gonna hold my positions rather than sell my positions. Okay, so then now, like, so right now it's at $10, right? It's at $10, okay? And then even if it dips a little bit, like let's just say it ends up, you cash out the $10,000 profit. It now retraces to like maybe, you know, like maybe a little bit less. You might not get the best entry, right? Or even if you were to cash out at $10 and then you re-enter it again with $10,000. Does that make sense? So you take your $10,000 profit and then you cash it, you take your profit. But then all of a sudden on the breakout, you're gonna enter again at $10,000 right here. So now you're starting over, entering here at $10,000, we'll just say, okay? Well, if it went to $15, right? Guess what? You're only gonna be at a $15,000 profit, right? Because that's 50%. So if you think about cashing out the first 10K first, and then re-entering, and then it hits $15, you're only gonna make another $5,000. So the total that you're making is actually $15,000. Whereas if you just held it on the dip, okay, it gets to this price level, you hold it on the dip, and then it gets to 15,000, right? Or $15, instead of making 15,000 combined, you'd actually be making 20,000. You guys understand that concept? Okay, so by basically taking your profit and buying back in at the same dollar amount, okay, even though it's the same dollar amount, it doesn't matter. You now have less coins because it's not just about the amount that you put in. It's about the amount of coins that you have. And when you entered at 10,000 or $10,000 at $5 per coin, right? If you were to ride it to 15, you're going to make 20 instead. So basically what I'm saying is that you're taking a gigantic profit less. Okay, instead of taking a $15,000, $20,000 profit, you're taking 15. Does that make sense? Because it's so important to understand the concept of having as many coins as you can accumulate. So the reason why I'm staying in my these are my short-term holds, is because my entry price is so damn good. Even though I can take out the whatever $80,000, $70,000 profit, these are my short-term or my longer-term swing positions that I hold for maybe a month or 2 or 3. It doesn't make sense for me to take the profit, even if I were to enter back at a little bit less, because I'm gonna have less coins, which overall, when the altcoin season does begin, okay, you're gonna make actually less of a profit. Even though it seems like you're making more of a profit now because you're taking some profit, doesn't work like that. You're gonna have to inject a crap ton more money to buy the same amount of coins to get the same return. So that's why I'm sticking to this $500,000, $600,000 longer term hold position of mine, even though I'm ready for the fact that Bitcoin could drop. Okay, so right now, the way that the Bitcoin dominance, we're gonna mainly be talking about, okay, let's do an Elliott wave analysis first of all. Okay, so Elliott wave says that we're getting very, very close to a top, if not a top already, okay, for this particular structure. Okay, so I'm gonna count, I have no choice but to count this down over here as the first wave. Okay, there's no choice for me but to count it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's the parabolic fifth. This is now the first wave. The second wave gets truncated to me, begins there. So the way that I'm seeing this right now goes something like this. So that's now the 2 that goes in here, okay? I'm now basically seeing a potential 3 that is almost likely to top very soon, okay? That's how I'm seeing it. I'm seeing this as most likely a 1 over here. I'll show you guys. A big 1 over here, a 2. This is now a 1, 2, and this is probably maybe this is even a 3, okay? So I'm gonna go over it. Like maybe this is even a 3 right now. It's possible. And then the 4 is coming down, and then the 5. So this is one variation, because if this was a true count, then perhaps this is a 1, 2, and this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to make a 3, the 4 in here, and then the 5 finishes off right there to finish the 3. So we could be very close to a top already. I don't think we're gonna blow past $100,000. That is, in fact, I think that we might be at the very top already, if not one more small subwave to the top. So the reason why I think one more small subwave is because this in here looks like it's like a 3 or something, okay? Like maybe in here somewhere, this looks like it could be like a 1, 2, 3, a 4, and maybe a 5. 5 to like 100K. But I would be completely blown away if we actually break above $100,000, because based off of Elliott wave counts, this guy could be like really in already. Okay, but if I'm wrong, like if like that's the bearish Elliott wave count, but there's also like a bullish Elliott wave count, right? Where this is actually not 4 yet. The 4, this is actually just 3 finishing. Okay, this is 3 finishing only, like right somewhere in here near 100K, or even here right now, and then we're gonna have a lot more ways to go. So basically, this is now the 3, this is now the 4, and the 5 continues. But either way, it doesn't matter how you look at it. There's maybe at most, if we're lucky, like one more small subwave up, or it's at the top already. But either way, if you look at this count, this is the 4th wave correction that's about to begin. If you look at it from the other count, where I said this is the 3, this is the 4, and this is the 5, Well, guess what? It's still done the count as well. So this is the 3. This is the very clear 3. The 5th is always the one that's struggling extremely hard. So I think right now is not the time to be buying alts, okay? Because even though the Bitcoin dominance is extremely high right now and maybe it's going to drop, there's nothing that's going to prevent Bitcoin from dragging down every single altcoin if Bitcoin drops. It's just the nature of the market. It's how things go. Bitcoin drops, everything is going to be on fire with the whole market. If the total crypto market cap goes up, the total 3 market cap also goes down. That's just how it is. So I don't think that it's a wise time to be buying alts right now. I think that alts are gonna severely dip sometime soon. If you take a look at some coins, for example, like Solana, they're at the all-time high. If you take a look at my number 1, like top 3 holding altcoin, you take a look at Render. Render is at a high since July, right? You take a look at a coin like Superverse. It's at a high from March, okay? So, and then you take a look at Polkadot, right? Polkadot is also reaching a resistance kind of level right now where it's congested right now. So there's going to be a correction if Bitcoin hits, okay? There's no doubt about that. But the good news is that if Bitcoin does hit 100K and alts are dropping, it's probably going to be one of the best times to position yourself and accumulate further. That's the best thing that you should do, that you could do. In fact, I'm most likely going to move a lot of capital from my ledger to the exchange, maybe like $2 million. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to leverage it on the dip. I'm going to leverage it like times 2 or 3 actually, because I'm that confident. If a big dip occurs, just think about it. So, and we're still expecting Bitcoin to be very bullish. If a big dip occurs for altcoin, it would be very, like, we're talking like a 20-30% drop. It would be very wise for me to leverage my positions because eventually there will be an altcoin season. And the correlation is very simple for those that have been asking me about it. I mean, Bitcoin dominance goes to the upside. The majority of institutions and people are heavily invested in Bitcoin. So that's why this is going to continue most likely between 60 to 72. And then eventually altcoin season happens whenever we see something like this. Okay, we see, let me just get this properly here for you. Actually, I can't go side by side. I don't want to change all my settings. So Bitcoin dominance, for example, dropped to a major low in 2021. But what happened to the total 3 market cap during that time? It was right around this time. The total 3 market cap ended up doing a 200% rally instead. So when the Bitcoin dominance drops, that's where money starts to migrate from Bitcoin to the total 3 market cap. And that's going to be the altcoin season. Okay. I'm not going to be answering any questions relating to what coin is doing this, etc., or anything to relate to my portfolio today, guys. I'm going to keep it strictly news today. So right now, Bitcoin, once again, it's most likely at a high. Okay, it really is at a high. Okay, and the scary thing is another scary thing as well is that, like, you know, I've heard talks of people thinking that maybe even all 5 waves are in, right? Like literally all 5 waves are in already. But I don't believe that to be the case. I believe that this is going to be a super cycle and we're going to make some monstrous waves. So for example, like maybe if you go to the Bitcoin index, like the history of all time, right? Of all time, I would consider like, I would personally consider this like a 1. This is probably a 2 in here somewhere, right? 1, and this is probably a 2. Big ass corrections. This is probably a 3, a 4, and a 5, which makes the official like first wave, right? Like first wave done. So this makes a 1, this makes a 2. I believe that we're now in a super cycle where this is now making a gigantic ass 3. Like we're talking a fucking huge 3 that's gonna happen. Like a very, very extended third that's gonna happen. You know, even if you do a simple Fibonacci extension, right, between waves 1 and 2, a simple target that's so achievable is gonna eventually be $125,000. That's just a normal 1618 fib extension. A 2618 extension gets us to like, you know, gets us even higher, right? It gets us, ignore the timeline. I'm not talking about timeline here. A 2618 extension gets us to about $196,000. So we're literally in a massive third wave right now, I think. But realistically, this is how I'm seeing it, guys. Like I'm seeing the Elliot wave like from a bigger picture. Like the way that I see it is like this. Like the third wave is probably gonna hit when it finishes something like 125K, you know, something like that. So even though this is like a correction, like I think we even have a potential to go to like easily to $200,000 soon. So, but the key takeaway to understand from this, guys, is that like we're just in a correction soon. Like it's gonna happen probably. You can't be in a bull market and think that everything is gonna go to the moon and it's never gonna stop. There will be days and weeks where Bitcoin will drop 20 to 30%. All the effing time. Bitcoin drops 20 to 30%. Altcoins are going to drop 20 to 30% as well. I can show you multiple times where in a bull market we drop significant amount. Here in 2016 drops 40%. Here it drops, you know, 35%. Here it drops 33%. You know, here it drops 39%. So there's going to be, look at this, look at these drops, man. They're huge. 40% drops, you know, fucking massive drops. This one, it was in 1 week where it dropped 30%. So there's going to be many days where you are going to feel like you're shaken out. Look at 2020, like the last bull market. Here's a 21% drop. Look at this one. This is a 63% drop. This one here is a massive 30% drop. This one here was a huge 24% drop. This one here is a, you know, 55% drop before we continued. My point is, you guys cannot be shaken out just because of a little drop. A drop is gonna be the difference between you making a few $1 million or not. Because if you get shaken out and you sell everything in your portfolio because you're scared, you're not gonna make fuck all in this bull market. You need to understand firmly that volatility is gonna be here. Volatility is gonna fuck over the amateurs and put money from your pocket directly to my pocket and people like me who are very strong with diamond balls, man. So make sure you hold strong. If I can advise you of anything, it's not the time to be selling. It's the time when this dip occurs for you to be buying, okay? And yeah, maybe alt are not at the best place to buy right now, but eventually you will end up buying, okay? Simple. If you want to pause the video, take a screenshot of my portfolio, by all means. This is my portfolio picks right now with, of course, Bitcoin and Ethereum too. These are all of the coins that I'm so heavily diversified into. I'm also, I don't have a lot of Doge or WIF, but I have some for fun. Like 1% of my portfolio's in there, which is like 50K or something, or 60K now. I'm heavy into Render, Superverse, Beam, Polkadot, Solana, Manta now. And those are like some of my top picks. I'm so well diversified and well positioned that I will easily make over 8 figures in this bull market, okay? So I want to advise you guys accordingly, and don't take it as financial advice if you want. Just take it from the guy that has 8 figures invested in crypto soon, you know, and been doing this for 9 years, that the time is not to sell right now. So let's talk about the dominance, okay? So right now we're at about 60%. Actually, I don't want to talk about dominance anymore. I've talked about it so much already. Let's talk about year-to-date ROI. Okay, we're comparing the pre-bull market years. The pre-bull market year is 2016, 2020, 2024. We are literally following the exact same path as the pre-bull market years. Okay, do you guys see how we're trending? This is, look at it, like we're literally doing the same kind of ROIs as we did last year for Bitcoin. It's incredible. Now let's look at the bull market years, okay? 2013, 2017, 2021, right? 2021 didn't have a big ROI. It was actually a very low ROI, but there was still massive altcoin season, right? That's just how it is. Is there an alt here? No, there's nothing. So you can see that in 2021 it wasn't the biggest ROI, but let me show you guys something else. Okay, let's look at the pre-bull market years: 2016, 2020, 2024. 2016 we had 1, 2, 3, 4 red months. 2020 we had 1, 2, 3, 4 red months. This year we've only had 3 red months. Are we going to get a bearish December? Probably not. So we've actually historically broken records if we finish off the year with 9 green months for the pre-bull market year. That's crazy. And then you take a look at, obviously, 2017, there's only 1, 2 red months. 2021, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red months, but it still made a ridiculous all-time high, right? It was April, May, and June that really worried people, right? Now you take a look at the ROI after halving, right? This is factoring in, like, look at where we are. We're in the baby phases. We're the green line. The baby phases of literally the ROI right now. I'm going to predict that our ROI will probably finish off somewhere around 3. 3 ROI is where I expect us to be, because every year the ROI gets diminished. So 3 ROI from 70K is 210K. I'm going to predict Bitcoin's going to hit $200,000, and that'll be the top. So historical risk levels are rising significantly right now. Okay, so we're at about 0.6. Anytime the risk levels is between 0.4 and 0.6, it's a good time to buy. There's actually not that much risk getting into alts yet or not. Like, believe it or not, even for alt, it's not that bad. Or even for Bitcoin, you know, it's eventually going to rally. Yes, there might be a dip to like 90K, 85K, but that's part of the game. Okay, the greed is at an all-time high right now. Again, we're at 90. Whenever the greed, but just because we're at 90 doesn't mean that it can't keep climbing in terms of relative to the price. You can see in 2021 that the greed just kept going and going and going and going and going and going. So the greed can easily just keep rallying and staying between the 70 and the 100 range. So that's kind of all I wanted to update you guys with today. It's been a while, so make sure you guys are just staying consistent, man. Dollar cost average, okay? Dollar cost average, that's going to be the best thing that you can do. And I'm doing very well. Like, I'm fucking killing it. Here's my, I day trade as well, as you guys know, right? Here's my, I day trade. I have longer term positions, and I also have my investment portfolio. Yesterday I had, not yesterday, the day before, I had a 24,000. Look how many $10,000 days I'm having. This is since November the 13th. That's when I started trading again, and I basically traded for like 4 days since then. And every day, this is like 8K. This was 15K. This one was 24K day trading. Yesterday was about 13.5K. I'm up $63,000 day trading. And the cool thing is I post all of this in my elite tier group. Anybody in my elite tier group, they would 100% agree with me when I tell them that it's fucking worth the money. You know why? Because I've traded for 9 years in the market. And I would say I'm a very talented day trader because of the amount of hard work that I put into it. And yes, I give signals and I tell everybody what to buy, when to buy it, and how to enter, and when to sell, and what targets are. I basically babysit people with the best updates for my elite tier group. I've now opened it up a little bit more because many people want to join, and I think it's fair for you guys to join one of the best elite tier Discord groups to live trade with me and learn, and also learn the new course. Okay, guys? So make sure you guys are DMing me if you're interested in that. Always stay up to date with my updates. Okay, even though, you know, I don't focus on editing the videos. I don't focus on, you know, making it pretty and getting a lot of views, but I assure you that for the content that you guys see in my channel, it will come as real as I get, okay? Because I want to see you guys do very well. No sugarcoating anything. So let's get back to it. Be cautious. We might have one more small wave to $100,000. It is not the time to buy altcoins yet right now to add to your portfolio, but soon it will be. Follow that Bitcoin dominance very, very closely. Follow the total 3 market cap as well. The total 3 is extremely important for you guys to follow, okay? We've broken, like, we're gonna eventually get back up there, okay? We're not far away to the all-time high market cap. We're only about 36% away. I expect this total market cap to fly, to like get to like $2 trillion or $3 trillion. I expect the total market cap of all of crypto to get to something like maybe even $10 trillion by the end of this cycle, guys. Like something ridiculous. So stay tuned. It's time to accumulate very soon, guys. Have yourselves a great day, and we'll